Hello, fellow yogis. I'm so happy you're here to join me for this yummy yoga stretch, 25 minutes, and I welcome all levels as I'll be providing options for more advanced and more beginner-friendly modifications. Props are definitely welcome. A strap, pillows, blocks, bolsters, anything that is going to get you the most comfortable in these poses that we're holding for quite a bit of time to really get deep into our muscles and connective tissue. So starting off on our backs in Shavasana, just going to feel the floor beneath us, get situated in our bodies, bringing our attention inwards, focusing on how your body feels right now, scanning from the tip of your head all the way down your spine, your legs to your toes, really just tuning into your body and connecting with the breath, noticing where you're breathing, if it's in the belly, in the chest. Begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers, and then bring the left knee in towards your chest, pulling closer with your hands. Now take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, pull your knee closer to your chest and go deeper into the stretch. Really release all the tension on your exhales throughout these stretches. Moving the knee side to side to really begin lubricating that hip joint. Transitioning now into larger hip circles. So moving in a clockwise rotation with the knee, making the circles as large or as small as you wish. Just intuitively feel what type of movement is really nice for your body right now. Reversing the direction, counterclockwise. Bring left knee into the chest and then release by straightening the leg out all the way to the mat. And we're going to move on to the other side. Right knee moves towards the chest with support from your hands, pulling that thigh in as much as you can, really directing it with the breath. So again, taking a big inhale and moving deeper into the stretch on your exhale, releasing all tension, scanning your body for tension, breathing into that space and releasing it through the breath. Moving the knee side to side, beginning to open up the right hip. And transitioning into hip circles. I decided to go counterclockwise to begin here. You can hold on to your leg or use your core muscles to move your knee in a circular motion. Reversing the direction now. Feeling again intuitively how large you want to make the circles. Now, hopefully you have your pillow or bolster nearby, but after you're done your hip circles, bring that right knee into the chest, and we're going to do a supine twist. With your right knee pointing towards the sky, rotate over towards your left side and drop your shin and knee onto your bolster or pillow with your arms straight out to the side. The goal here is to keep both shoulders on the mat over having your knee touch the floor. So that's why a pillow is really Great to use as a prop here because we don't want to over twist our spine. A variation in this stretch would be grabbing your right toe with your left fingers, straightening the leg over to the side. Just as a reminder, in any sort of yoga pose or stretch, sharp pain is a signal that your body is not liking it, so you don't want to overdo it and stay within your limits of the stretch. Begin to bend the knee of the right leg that's twisted over, and we're going to bring it back to center for a neutral spine. Knee to chest, and then extend out in front of you so the leg is flat on the ground. Switching sides now. Gonna bring the left knee in so it is facing the sky, and twisting over to the right hand side with our shin. Again, using that pillow or bolster for support. Your arms are straight out to the side of you, and your gaze can be towards your left. For a deeper stretch, grab your left big toe with your right fingertips, straighten the left leg, and twist over to the right hand side. If your left leg is straight, begin to bend it now, turning the knee back into center for a neutral spine and extending the left leg out. We're going to make our way to seated, so you can either bring both knees into your chest and roll all the way up, or turn onto your side in a fetal position and push yourself up from the side. I recommend using 2 pillows for our next pose, which is butterfly. Sitting on one pillow, bringing the soles of the feet together and opening the knees out to the side. You can bring your feet in closer to your hips or further away. It's all dependent on what you are feeling today. And then grabbing your toes or the sides of your feet, keeping the spine straight, bending from the hip joints. I'm going to begin to go deeper into this pose. A reminder to notice your breathing and to try to make your breathing slower and deeper so that you're getting more oxygen into your body so that you can go deeper into the poses and really breathing through all of the sensations of the stretch, feeling into the feelings. This is like a meditative experience. You're just noticing the discomfort, the release, whatever it is that is going on in the stretch. I like to use my pillow or bolster and just kind of hug it and lay on it so that I have a little bit of support from my core. Alright, begin to lift your chest up to sitting. You can remove your pillow. Leaning back, kind of windshield wiper your legs and knees side to side. It's kind of just a relaxing buffer pose as we make our way to the next one. Our next posture is a simple forward fold. So sitting again on a bolster pillow to raise the hips up a little bit off the ground. Whatever level you are at, unless you're super, super flexible. Start with your knees bent, just to really target the hamstrings. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky, engage the core. You can place hands on the shins, grabbing the toes, or on the outside of the feet. You can even hug underneath the knees, or using a strap if that's more helpful. Take a deep breath in, and then on your next exhale, fold deeper into this pose from the hips and the lower back, lengthening the spine. The chest is shooting forward, the chin towards the shins, and your feet are flexed. You are stretching the whole back side of your body right now, from the tip of your head all the way to your heels. And your body is saying thank you, and so is your soul, because a lot of things get trapped up in our muscles, and when we stretch, we can release it. Beginning to straighten one leg at a time and going as deep as you can into this pose now, your full expression of forward fold. To safely exit forward fold, begin to straighten your spine, hinging from the hips up to seated. And if you are sitting on a pillow, just scoot slightly in front of it, and I like to counter the forward fold with a little bit of a back bend by laying down over the pillow, stretching my arms up overhead. If you are not using props, you can counter pose with bridge. Laying on your back with knees bent, bringing your feet flat on the mat, hips width apart, and a few inches from your sits bones. On your inhale, you're going to lift the hips and thighs up to the sky, parallel the knees, and draw the chest up and back. Roll onto your outer shoulders. You can interlace your fingers as well. Maintaining a steady breath here and really squeezing your belly, your core muscles, to lift you up higher to the sky. Lowering the hips back down to the mat. Take a couple breaths here to regain your balance, your focus, and a little bit of relaxation. You can try bridge pose one more time, or wheel pose, which is a little bit more advanced and not recommended for those who have any sort of pain in the lower spine. I'm stretching out my inner forearms and wrists to prepare myself for wheel pose. So just pulling on the fingertips down, reversing the direction of my hand to stretch that inner forearm, and also making some wrist circles. So for this one, you're lying flat on the ground on your back. Step your feet a few inches from your sits bones. Your feet and knees are hips width apart. Plant your hands by your ears and your shoulders with your fingers pointing towards your feet. Bring your elbows in and parallel. And as you inhale, lift the hips, thighs, belly up towards the sky. You're really lifting from your core. So you're squeezing your belly as you lift up, straightening the arms, lifting the chin and forward. You can lift onto your toes as well. This also makes it a little bit easier. Then gently lower by bringing the crown of your head to the floor first, and then rolling on your spine vertebrae by vertebrae until you're flat on the floor, bringing knees into chest. For those that did wheel pose, reversing those wrist stretches feels really good right now. So you can go ahead and do those as well. Find your way to seated and then to tabletop. a pillow or bolster behind you. We're going to sit back onto the pillow with our legs parallel, just next to the pillow. And we're going to move into reclined hero. So really targeting the quads here. This is the first variation, just holding the feet. Or you can move into the second variation, which is onto the forearms. Or if it's within your practice, to go all the way to the floor, reaching arms overhead. This is a super yummy stretch to target the psoas muscle, which is the front part of your hips, to the quadriceps. Taking slow, deep inhales and exhales. Moving through all the sensations. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but the longer that we breathe and maintain our calm and steadiness through it, we can ease that discomfort. Just like the longer you're in the stretch, the better it feels. Slowly rise out of this posture by coming onto your forearms, grabbing the feet, engaging the core to bring yourself all the way up to sitting hero pose, and moving into a tabletop position. Bring the knees back and the hips, walking the hands forward a bit, sinking the chest down into puppy. Your hips are directly over your knees. Your forehead is resting on the mat, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And your chest reaches down towards the mat at an angle towards the knees. Coming onto your fingertips in puppy adds a little bit more of a stretch in the shoulders. Lifting the chest back up into neutral position with shoulders over wrists, tabletop. Move into down dog by tucking the back toes, lifting the hips up to the sky and straightening the legs. Bring the left shin forward and cross it in front of your body so it's parallel to the front of your mat. Make sure that the left knee is in line with the left hip or slightly to the side, dropping the right knee onto the mat or a pillow in my case. And I'm placing also another pillow under that left hip to get super cozy into this pose. One-legged king pigeon, placing the hands to your side, straightening your spine. Taking a big inhale as you lift from the spine even taller. And if you would like, you can exhale over that front leg. Stay folded over that front leg, or if you like to try other expressions, I'm using a strap to continue with that back bend portion. Squaring the chest forward and bringing both hands over to grab the strap in a slight back bend. Then pulling on the strap, forehead moves towards the back toes. Bending as much as possible, but also knowing your limits. Ensuring that you can still breathe comfortably throughout the stretch. Engage your glutes, your quadriceps, and your core here so that you are stable and strong while also being flexible. Release the right foot to the floor. Tuck the toes of the right foot and step up into plank, bringing the left foot back. Moving the hips up, straightening the legs, downward facing dog. Gonna move on to the other side. I'm doing a wide-legged down dog and pedaling out the feet as well because it felt really nice. Take this time to bring the strap onto the other foot, the left foot, and alternate the pillows for pigeon on the other side. Bring the shin of the right leg forward and cross it in front of your body, parallel to the front of the mat. Drop the left knee to the floor. Lower your hips to the floor and place your hands beside you, lifting the spine straight. And on your exhale, lowering down to fold over the right leg, if that feels comfortable. Mind-muscle connection, so you're really focusing on that outer right hip and feeling the stretch in the area, visualizing your breath moving in that area to release the muscle so that you can go deeper into the stretch. Lift the chest up so that it's squared to the front of your mat, and with your left hand you can reach for your strap and begin to flip your elbows up into the full expression of this pose. Both hands grabbing the strap, forehead reaches towards the toes of your left foot. With precision and slowly release your left foot back to the floor. Place your hands on the mat, tuck your back toes, lift into plank, shooting the hips up and straightening the legs into downward facing dog. Find your way into a comfortable seated position. This could be sitting back on your heels for hero or in a cross-legged position. Now showing the shoulders some love. See if you can clasp your fingers behind your back. I like to intensify this by swaying side to side, activating the side body as well. If you can't clasp your fingers, you can use your strap or any sort of fabric to add that distance needed to be able to hold this. go ahead now and switch sides, clasping opposite arm up and stretching the shoulders. Can you tell I have my sleepy voice? It's a little bit past midnight, so I'm definitely super cozy. Swaying side to side again, opening the side body. And we've made it to our final stretch. Taking the right hand and gently placing it on the left side of our head to stretch that left side of the neck. You can release your jaw, totally relax the whole side of your face. Go ahead and make your way to the other side. So left hand is gently placed on the right side of your head to elongate the right side of your neck. You're not putting too much pressure here, you're just gently placing. And there you go, you've made it to the end of this stretching routine. I really hope that your body feels amazing. We've targeted a lot of different areas today. So I want you to congratulate yourself for putting in the work. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe so that you'll be informed of future classes. And if you love me so much that you would like to support me on Patreon with a small contribution, it really isn't much, but it does help motivate me and keep me making videos on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things, daily content. So I would really appreciate it. And I'm sending you all the good vibes, much love. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.